Good afternoon, everyone. We will begin with the Philippine National Anthem to be followed by a short prayer.
Bayang magiliw, pelas ang sinanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupit, di ka pasisiin. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bukaw, may nilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdiningning, ang bituing at araw niya kailan pa may magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng walhating pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang hinigaya na pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this webinar. Welcome to Senso Eskwela at iba pa, introducing the new Math Plus apps. Professor from the Mathematics Department of Ateneo de Manila University. I will be your moderator for today. Today is the first of the two-day webinar where we will showcase our web application, Senso Eskwela Pilipinas, SEP for short. It is for statistical learning for grades 1 to 11. We will also showcase the new mobile apps that can be used for learning and teaching mathematics for grades 1 to 10. Kumusta po kayong lahat? This webinar, Senso Eskwela at iba pa, is currently being streamed live on Facebook and YouTube. We have guests who are teachers from all over the country. They are elementary and high school teachers. We would like to remind those who are participating via Zoom to mute your microphone and to turn off your cameras. If you have questions about the presentations, you may please type them into the question or the chat box in Zoom. Or if you're listening or watching through Facebook or YouTube, then please send us a message to the comment section. I'll bring them up at the end of the presentation. We will also have a chance to ask those questions before we end the webinar for the day. So I hope you'll be sending us your questions. Now we can begin. To formally welcome us to this webinar, we have the Dean of the School of Science and Engineering, Dr. Evangeline P. Bautista. Good afternoon, Dr. Bautista.
Good afternoon, Jume. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Welcome to Senso Eskwela Pilipinas at iba pa, as brought to you by SOSES Shares. Kung nagtataka po kayo kung ano yung SOSES Shares, SOSES stands for the School of Science and Engineering of the Loyola Schools of Ateneo de Manila University, and Shares means Science Hub for academic researchers, educators, and students. More importantly, SOSES Shares is the platform by which our school reaches out to everyone to share what we know and what we are doing in the hope of creating a community where vibrant discussion and more learning can take place. We are now on our second webinar series, and I am pleased that the second one is on mathematics education and involves you, educators in basic education. I am aware of the challenges you are facing, and I hope that the next 2 days we will all learn something useful from each other. We have more interesting webinars after this session, so please take time to check out and follow the ADMU School of Science and Engineering Facebook page so you may be updated with our future webinars. Finally, I thank everyone for joining us, and I thank Dr. De Las Peñas, Dr. Sarmiento, and her team for all their efforts in a project as relevant and as timely as Senso Eskwela. Again, I wish that the next 2 sessions turn out to be very productive sessions for everyone. Thank you and good day.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bautista. Now to give an opening remarks, we're so happy to have our Vice President for the Loyola Schools, Dr. Maria Lucy Vilches. Good afternoon, Dr. Marlin.
Hello, good afternoon, Jume. Good afternoon, everyone. If you hear some ambient sounds, it's because it's raining where I am. I hope it's not too much. So I'd like to welcome everyone. I understand this is being participated in by a lot of teachers from all over the country. And we welcome you to Ateneo de Manila, even in this online mode. Actually, what I would like to say is really Thanksgiving, because in this difficult time, we have not really relented. We have not given up. We continue to move forward in a positive way. And I'd like to thank Dr. De Las Peñas and Dr. Sarmiento and the math department and their team for taking on this big opportunity to be of service to our public schools. You know, the product, this is a product as well. I'd like to acknowledge that the product, their DOP shared project. And we are all here in collaboration with one another, which is very good. My heart is really for the public schools because I'm a product of the public schools. All of my basic education was in the public schools in a remote barrio in Leyte. So when I was growing up, my father was a principal of the grade school and the high school where I was. My father kept on telling me repeatedly, please be part of the public school system. But my career trajectory did not take me there, but I promised to him I will help DepEd in whatever capacity I have or where I am, even if I'm not part of the entire system. So, and that's what I've been doing in all of my career life. When I was still with the Department of English, I put together huge projects for the Department of Education, you know, bilateral agreement between the Philippines and the United Kingdom. I led that project for 4 years for public secondary schools. And I also put together a mentor training program for English teachers and trainers. But we have not ceased doing that. Now in my capacity as Vice President, I support every effort that has to do with helping the public school system. And I'm very glad that the Ateneo de Manila has constantly been helping, not just helping, but been learning a lot from our association with DepEd. So this is a Thanksgiving project that's being done by Dr. De Las Peñas and Dr. Sarmiento. And we hope that through this, we will reach out more to people who are enthusiastic about helping the education or uplifting the education in this country, helping the youth who are going to be the future citizens of a country, so that in whatever way we can, in mathematical analysis, in shaping up creative thinking as far as the science is concerned, in shaping up critical thinking through mathematics, we are there for the public school system. So I'm very thankful that this is being undertaken, and I wish everyone, especially our collaborators in DepEd, I understand that this is going to be adopted by 3 cities, Mandaluyong, Makati, and Quezon City. That's really, really very good. So at the very outset, I'm sure that this project is going to go very well. At the very outset, I'd like to say congratulations already. And I'd like to say all the best to those who are going to collaborate. We are going to be there for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vilches. We're also so happy to the teachers in the country. Now, to give an overview and introduction of MathPlus resources, we have our project leader, Dr. Maria Luis Antoinette N. de las Peñas. She's a professor from the Mathematics Department and also currently the Associate Dean of Research and Creative Work in the Ateneo Loyola Schools. She's column editor of the Math Tourist for the journal Mathematical Intelligencer. Let us all welcome Dr. de las Peñas.
Hello, good afternoon, Dr. Sarmiento, and good afternoon to all our educators and teachers who are tuning in today. At the moment, I'd just perhaps like to inform the other teachers who are live on FB and waiting. We are fixing some technical difficulties, but rest assured we'll try to immediately fix the problems that we are facing at the moment. So I would like to give everyone an overview about our project. So let me share my screen. The research-based assessments will provide a richer description of the strategies used by Filipino learners than can be gleaned from the more traditional multiple choice assessments, such as the National Achievement Test. In particular, these assessments will help us determine whether Filipino students are merely imitating procedures demonstrated by their teachers or using their critical thinking to solve mathematical tasks. So please watch out for this. Now, driven by the COVID-19 pandemic, the whole educational system in our country and the whole world faces the challenge of changing our teaching modalities as we transition to blended learning. Blended learning encompasses a wide range of learning modalities, including online learning, printed modules, radio, and television. We propose an additional option to teach and learn mathematical concepts using mathematical applications that may be used synchronously, and asynchronously. So the following features of the apps that we have designed make it very apt for this purpose. The mathematical apps are free, and users need the internet only once during download. So if a student or a teacher has no internet access, another option is to copy the file from another device using wireless transfer. Second, we wanted to create apps that are ready to use or ready to play. Students should be able to figure out how to use the apps even with minimal supervision and instruction from the teacher or their parent. Further, students can play or use the apps at their own time. Thus, teachers may assign the apps as supplementary material for mathematical learning. The apps were designed to be interactive and dynamic, and unlike static worksheets where students can do drill and practice, here the apps can give immediate feedback. For grades 1 to 6, we design it in a game-like environment, and by doing better in the game, children develop a stronger and more solid understanding of mathematical concepts. For grades 7 to 10, teachers may ask students to submit answers or conjectures. Students may work in groups and give comments to classmates. And the apps were designed with the official Department of Education curriculum in mind, following the most essential learning competencies, which are the focus in this school year's curriculum. Aside from that, we also discussed lengthily with other teachers, math heads, did needs assessment to ensure that the apps are suitable for Filipino learners. I would like to invite all the teachers to visit the Math Plus website. We have organized all the resources and the applications there by grade level and based as well on the most essential learning competencies. Moreover, since this project is ongoing, I would like to invite you to email us. You could send more comments and suggestions. We would be very happy to discuss with you and collaborate with you so that we can create more applications in the next months that will help aid our learners in the school year. So before I introduce the members of the team who have been very helpful in creating all of the mathematical resources, I would like to thank a number of people. First, the Department of Science and Technology, PSURD, for the support, the Ateneo de Manila University, Office of the President, the University Research Council for the support, the School of Science and Engineering, led by Dr. Evangeline Bautista, the Mathematics Department, the Office of the Vice President for Social Development, and we are very thankful to our partners, the Department of Education, School District Divisions, Mandaluyong, Marikina, and Quezon City, who are one in our mission to provide support to all our teachers, educators in ensuring that despite the challenges facing the world today, we can provide the quality mathematics education to our learners out there. So at this point, I am most privileged to be surrounded to introduce the people who are part of our project. So I would like to invite all of you to turn on your cameras. I'd like to introduce everyone in the team. So I'd like to start with Dr. Jumela Sarmiento, Dr. Debbie Marie Versosa, Dr. Mark Tolentino, Dr. Mark Loyola, Dr. Alva Aberin, and I'm not sure if she's here, Dr. Flor Francisco. She is part of uh, the initial phase of the project, Dr. Evangeline Bautista, and Mr. Winford Tabares. Mr. Len Patrick Garces.
Hello.
And our app developers, Mr. Victor Ortega,
Good afternoon.
Mr. Nigel Cargo,
Hello po.
and our app designer, Mr. Justiniani,
Hello.
Andoy,
Mm.
and our very able research assistants, Lara Micaela Torres and Apple Kalimlim, and our database developers, Logic, headed by Mr. Mark Pison. So thank you very much to all the members of our team. Without you, this project will not be a success. So now for the next part of our program, I would like to introduce a very special person who is the newest addition of our team. So Mr. Mark Tolentino, Dr. Mark Tolentino, please.
Hello everyone! My name is Banoy Bilang and I'm from the Math Plus team. It is so amazing to finally meet all of you today. That's right, my name is Banoy Bilang. Banoy, as in the good old Filipino term for eagle, and bilang as in number, or bilang as in count. You've probably guessed it already, but I love math. I enjoy going to school. I love to learn, but that doesn't mean it's always easy. It gets difficult sometimes. I make some mistakes along the way. Oh, but who am I kidding? I'm young. I make a lot of mistakes along the way. But that's okay. I like a challenge and I never ever give up. Because at the end of the day, no matter what outfit I'm in, my most favorite thing to wear is the heart of a true Filipino. A heart that is so excited to help our Filipino educators and be with my fellow Filipino students. That even though they may not be as confident, or they might break a sweat, or just want to fly away when they hear about math or can't solve a difficult problem, they are not alone. Just play our math apps with me and trust me that math can be fun. Math can be engaging. And math is relevant. So please stay tuned with us at mathplusresources.wordpress.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our Facebook page at Math Plus Resources. Or send us an email at mathplus.admu@gmail.com. That's all for now. See you next time!
Isn't Banoy Bilang so cute? Thank you very much, Dr. De Las Peñas, for your presentation. May I ask you some questions about Banoy Bilang?
Sure, Dr. Sarmiento. Go
So
ahead.
whose idea is Banoy Bilang?
Well, I think some members of the team, there was a point when we were discussing what to include in the assets when we are designing the app. And it suddenly occurred to us that it would be good to have someone, yun bang katunggali ng mga estudyante sa pag-aaral. Parang, di ba, friend nila. So we would say, ano kayang magandang representation? Then we thought of maybe having someone like Banoy. And Andoy was very quick enough to come up with a design that everyone immediately loved. And I asked also some friends, kasi yung concept na we wanted, yung kanina sa video, what Banoy would be. And Dr. Michael Caroza, one of our experts in the Filipino department, told me na, alam mo yung eagle, yung talagang Filipino word is Banoy. So sabi ko, okay, yun. Tapos we wanted nga Banoy at saka Bilang. So that's how Banoy Bilang came about.
Another question about Banoy Bilang. Is he a boy or a girl?
So nakita niyo, di ba? Kasi Banoy loves to dress up. Yun yung isa sa mga personality niya. Aside from enjoy siyang mag-aral, gusto niya yung ganon, magbihis. So lalaki siya. However, I'd like to inform everyone, abangan yung maging playmate niya. May kakano siya ng playmate.
Okay.
Na iba yung suot, girl.
Okay. Parang Mickey and Minnie Mouse lang, no? Thank you very much, Dr. De Las Peñas.
You're welcome, Jume.
To the next part of our webinar. I would like to introduce Dr. Debbie Marie Versosa. She's a former member of the Ateneo Mathematics Department and currently Associate Professor of the University of Southern Mindanao and board member of the Philippine Council of Mathematics Teachers Educators Incorporated. She will present the new Math Plus apps for grades 1 to 6. Hello, Debbie.
Hello, good afternoon to everyone. Okay. So we are very excited to share with you the math apps we designed for grades 1 to 11. Aside from being based on research, the apps were designed with Filipino learners and teachers, or you, in mind. The Ateneo has strong links with both public and private schools. Kaya talagang naisang-alang-alang namin ang inyong mga pangangailangan sa pagbubuo ng mga apps. Sana po sa webinar na ito, maengganyo kayong i-download itong mga apps para magamit din ninyo ito sa inyong mga klase. So without further ado, and on behalf of the whole research team, I will now present to you the apps for grades 1 to 6.
Thank you very much, Dr. Versosa. Are you still there? Can I ask you a few questions?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Dr. Versosa, can you tell us how to download a little bit about downloading those games through our
Um,
website?
the last slide actually showed the link. So that's mathplus.wordpress.com. And then you can see the screenshots of all the apps there. You can also download a PC version or an Android version. So there are instructions there on how to download. So for grades 1 to 6, you have two options. Kung meron po kayong computer, dun po kayo sa PC. Kung hindi, kung meron kayong tablet or Android phone, please download the Android app.
Okay. Can we use any other, smartphone or tablet, or do you need some specifications?
I think all tablets except for the iPhones or iPads will be able to download the app.
Okay. So Android, no?
Android or Windows-based for PC.
Oh, that's good. Dr. Versosa, uh, because you've shown us a lot of games, no? How do games promote higher level thinking?
Okay. There's not too much time today to answer that question, so I will invite the viewers to come back tomorrow for our second session on how to use the apps for higher order thinking skills.
Okay.
Please watch out for that.
So thank you very much again, Dr. Versosa.
Okay.
Now when we go to the next portion, we would like to invite Dr. Maria Alba Aberin, Assistant Professor of the Ateneo Mathematics Department. She's also a board member of the Philippine Council of Mathematics Teachers Educators Incorporated. Let us all welcome Dr. Aberin, who will show us apps for grade 7 to 10. Dr. Aberin.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dr. Sarmiento, and to all our participants in the webinar, either through or among the forms ng Zoom, FB, or YouTube. If you are just tuning in and was not because of the technical difficulty that we had a while ago, just a short introduction to what you've been seeing. These are so far what you had seen are mathematical apps for grades 1 to 6. No? Our team was able to develop such apps as part of a project funded by DOST PSERD. And the project is Technological Interventions for Mathematical Reasoning and Statistical Thinking and Assessment. So you had an overview already of the mathematical apps for grades 1 to 6. We would also like to share with you the mathematical apps for grades 7 to 10. No? These have been designed to provide students some mathematical apps that allow them to explore, to investigate, make conjectures, and apply their reasoning. The structure and design of the apps are based on the importance of having multiple representations and the role of visualization in learning. We would like to promote different mathematical tasks help students see connections between different representations of ideas by means of visualization. And if you will try out the mathematical apps, this is very evident. No? Maximizing the role of visualization in learning. So as you will see as well that the cut across the different strands in the K-12 curriculum, from algebra, geometry, number sense, statistics, and probability. Also for you have seen that for the grades 1 to 6, most of them are in a game environment. We also have such apps because we want, or rather the apps is in a form of a puzzle or a game, because it is our intention that students would find these apps interactive and fun to use. Without much delay, we would like to share with you the mathematics for grades level 7 to 10.
Hello everyone, my name is Banoy Bilang. Does math seem scary and intimidating for you? Well, it doesn't have to be. Introducing grades 7 to 10 mathematical applications brought to you by the Math Plus team. Mathematical apps that are free. Mathematical apps that are accessible offline. Mathematical apps that are aligned with DepEd most essential learning competencies. Apps that are interactive, backed by extensive research, and mathematical apps that come with teaching guides. These apps are used for visualization, exploration, proving and conjecture making, and drill and practice. Our apps are divided into 4 main strands, namely algebra, geometry, numbers and operations, and statistics and probability.
So you have here the first set of apps. First one is the draw line. The goal is to find the equation of the line, as different conditions are set or are given. Feedback is given to you if you are correct in solving the problem. We see here some comments of teachers who have gone through the app. The next one is AlgebOps, one of my favorite, because you see here a visualization of adding and subtracting integers. That is, if you have unlike signs, they zero out. And you see the animation of canceling out the positive and the negative number. Then the visualization is seen in this app, and it is highly maximized. So you have the addition mode and subtraction mode. Okay, the third one is algae tiles. I hope you're familiar with the manipulatives of algebra tiles. So it's a bit similar to that, but we now make use of an app of applying the ideas of algebra tiles. So it is used in factoring and in multiplying polynomials. Okay. Okay, the fourth one is linear ops. The goal here is to solve a linear equation. And we see a visualization of your usual transposition, the term that we commonly use. When you can add two numbers on the same side of the equation. So that process is visualized in the app. Yeah, it provides a visual stimulus for that operation. So if students are able to have a visual representation of the processes that they do or the actions that they do, then most likely this will help them understand and help them remember the procedure or the algorithm. So that's a goal of linear operation. Now to solve the linear equations in a single variable. So makikita nila dito bakit nagbabago yung signs pag nilipat sa right side yung constant or yung term. So these are the students who participated in the trial of the apps that we have developed. I think they're using the AlgeOps in that case. Yeah, the next set of apps are actually GeoGebra applets. So if you're familiar with GeoGebra, we have created such applets which you can use in teaching systems of equations, absolute value as a distance, translations of graphs. Okay. The second strand is in geometry. The first is angle explorer. can use this to illustrate or to show the properties of supplementary or definition of supplementary and complementary angles. Join mo lang yung dalawang angles together. Okay? You can rotate the angles to make, there you go, a linear pair. Thus, they are supplementary. So this is an example of an app where students can explore and investigate. Okay, secondly, you have the Geo Match. It is a game actually. This one will allow students to remember the properties of different types of triangles and quadrilaterals. Yan. So 3 modes yan. Notice, you have to match the figure and the description below. So there's a property below, and you have to click that figure which matches the description. Click lang ng click. Dapat mabilis kayo. Otherwise, pag napuno yung screen ng figures and game over na. Pag mali ang na-click yung figure, you lose a life. 3 lives lang ang meron. So this will prevent students just by guessing, no? Click lang sila ng click. Hanggang 3 options lang sila, 3 lives lang. Pag no more space, filled up lahat ng screen, game over na yon. So pwedeng pataasan ng score yung mga students. So that's for the triangles. Meron ding yung quadrilateral mode. Fast mode dito. So dapat mabilis lang. Diagonals are congruent. So which among these figures have diagonals that are congruent? Okay, opposite angles are supplementary. Only one diagonal bisecting the other. Ayan, yung kite. Diagonals are perpendicular. So if you notice, no, students need to remember what are the properties of the different parallelograms or quadrilaterals that will that are true to them. So, alin nga ba dyan ang may diagonals bisecting each other? Ayan, nagkamali. No more space, kaya game over na yon. That's it for the Geo match. Here are some comments. So kung gusto nyong pa-recall sa students yung properties, yan, Geo match is for you. Okay, the next one is Approve It. Ito, maganda rin itong app na to. Pwede itong you can use this to ease in your students in improving in the skill of proving. Meron tong congruence and triangles and similarity of triangles. Okay, the first one, parang easy mode yan. Looking at the diagram, which postulate shows that the triangles are congruent. Okay, alin dyan? SAA ba? SAS? Ayan, in that case, SAS, di ba? Kasi may vertical triangles ka dyan, tapos may two pairs of congruent sides. Ito. Anong SAS din? Okay, so you notice, no, it will help students see kailan ina-apply yung SAS, SSS, ASA, na hindi pa sila niya nagpo-prove. Okay, parang ano nga yan breaking in. A break-in for the students into the proving exercises. So, triangle congruence pa rin yung mode. Meron din triangle similarity. Again, ito medyo proving na. Okay, so you have to download that app and see ano yung level 2 ng Prove It. Here are some students trying out the Prove It app. And again, we have GeoGebra applets. Most of these applets are have proving exercises. May yung mga 2-column proof meron dyan. But a lot of them have applets which allow students to explore, investigate, so they can see relationships. No? For example, ito, yung on bisectors of triangles. Ito naman, property ng rhombus. Ito, on diagonals of quadrilaterals. Ayan, ito yung may 2-column proof. May scaffold. May scaffolding property siya that will help students with a 2-column proof. Ito naman on arcs. Major arc, intercepted arc. So until grade 10, topics siya. For the numbers and operations, this is similar to what you've seen, the apps mentioned by Dr. Bautista Versosa a while ago. It's just that the mode, it has a mode on integers. Like for example, the ordering game. Yan, they would arrange the numbers in ascending order. So itong mode na to, whole numbers. One of my favorites din itong ordering game. Kasi aside from, it's not a simple game of ordering it. Kasi may strategy rin na pwedeng maaral ng mga students. Like if the number is small, where will you place it? Siyempre, dun sa leftmost. Pero, how far left will you put the number? Okay, ito, whole numbers pa rin siya. Pero merong 15 roles ito with 9 slots. So, medium level. So you can level up, no, in your game. Ito na ata yung last, third level, challenge mode. Challenge level. Si 10 rolls lang. So yan, merong whole numbers and later on, meron din dyang integers. Yan, yung integers. Pwedeng gawing, ano yan, comparison ng games. Ang score ay, comparison ng score. Ang score ng student will be the number of rolls remaining. So yung pinakamataas na rolls remaining, siya yung winner. Right, so that's the ordering game. Okay, catch the carrot. I think pinakita na ito ni Dr. Versosa kanina. Meron lang may lalabas na bagong version itong Catch the Carrot. Ito yung old version eh. Pero we have developed it na mas maganda yung interface niya. So that will be coming out soon, very soon. Ayan. So grid game din, no? Similar to what was shown a while ago. Pero ito, dahil sa grade 7, pwedeng integers ang ipiliin na numbers. So may target number, pupunta ka doon, just click on the plus or the minus buttons. Pag na-navigate ka lang sa grid until you reach the target number. Tapos ang challenge dyan, merong limited number of moves. You can see that on the right. Okay, right side of the panel. Kumbaga, in 10 moves, reach the target. And finally, the statistics and probability strand. Okay, you have this app which shows the histogram. And it can generate the histograms and measures of central tendency. From median, mode, mean, and my ability to analyze data pa. Okay, ito naman on counting, no? Counting principle. Katulad dyan, how many possible ice cream varieties or ice cream flavors are possible. So pag nag-select ka ng options mo, it will generate all possible combinations. So again, it makes use of a visual representation of the answers. Right? And then finally, on percentiles. Okay, again, if you want more, please take note of our website. There we go.
Thank you very much, Dr. Aberin. May I
Sure,
ask you a few
anytime.
questions?
Isa lang.
I know that there are teaching guides available for the grade 7
Yeah,
to
that's
10
right.
apps. Can you tell us where to find them? Are they easy to locate in our website?
Yeah, of course. As part of the first phase nung project, we included teaching guides for all the apps of grade 7 to 10. So if you go to the mathplusresources.wordpress.com and click on the grade 7 apps, you will see and click on a particular grid there together with the app, and alongside with it, as in the last column siya, is the teaching guide. So nandun na lahat yon. Nandun yung app and then the teaching guide. So that will somehow give you an idea how to apply it in class, even in the online setting.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr.
Sure.
Aberin. We now reach the highlight of today's webinar. We will now formally launch and reveal Senso Eskwela Pilipinas, SEP. I would like to call on Dr. Mark Anthony C. Tolentino and Dr. Mark Leola. They are both assistant professors from the Mathematics Department of Ateneo de Manila University. In addition, Dr. Tolentino is our Associate Chair for Graduate Programs. Please go ahead, Dr. Tolentino and Dr. Loyola.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm Mark Loyola. I'm an assistant professor from the Department of Mathematics at Ateneo de Manila University. And I have my partner here.
Hello, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Ako naman si Mark Tolentino, also an assistant professor from the Math Department. And we're very excited to share with you the Senso Eskwela Pilipinas.
So, we know that statistics very important in our daily lives nowadays. We are bombarded with data in the news and in other media, especially online. So it's important for everyone to have a good grasp of statistics.
That's right, Mark. So that means we need to be able to teach statistics to our students, even from grade 1 all the way to grade 12. We need to teach statistics very efficiently and very effectively, especially with the sudden shift to online education. We also need new ways of teaching statistics online.
Yes, and this is actually the reason why we envision the development of an online platform for learning and teaching statistics. So without further ado, everyone, we are proud. Actually, we are very proud to introduce to you, Mark.
Senso Eskwela Pilipinas.
So enjoy everyone. So, SEP is now open. Wow, Mark, alam mo, even if we are involved in the project, I'm still amazed by the design and functionality of the website. So really shout out to our designers and developers for making the website look so cool and exciting for our teachers and our students.
That's right, Mark. So maraming salamat po ulit sa Logic team headed by Sir Mark Pison and to our in-house developers, Sir Icon, Sir Nigel, and our designer, Sir Adoy. So they did a very good job in designing and developing the SEP website. So as you said, Mark, SEP is now open. So we would
Yes.
like to officially invite everyone to participate in the SEP so that we can build the SEP database so that students and teachers will have access to more data that they can use for learning and teaching statistics. So ano-ano ba yung mga pwedeng gawin right now in our SEP website? So, of course, we can provide the teachers with their own accounts that they can use to access the website. So, ito po yung gagamitin nyo para mag-log in, email, and password. And then, kasama po niyan, we will provide you with student codes. So, ito namang student codes, you will distribute to your students para po kanya-kanya silang makapag-log in sa website anonymously. Kasi nga, data privacy is very important also in this endeavor. So we don't want to identify the students in any way. Of course, the SEP survey is now officially live. Actually, it has been active for a few weeks now during our beta phase. So we would like to acknowledge and thank very sincerely the Ateneo Senior High School. Sila po ang nag-pilot ng ating SEP survey. So actually, if you log in now to the SEP website, there will be data already that you can download. So some random samples. And these are from our partners in the Ateneo Senior High School. And then, of course, as you saw in the video, some teaching guides and student worksheets are also available now in the website, and we'll show some of these later. And you can, again, retrieve data already. So if you're teaching statistics sometime in the next coming weeks, or you're studying statistics in the next coming weeks, there's a lot of data already that you can access from the SEP database. Now, Mark, I'm sure marami sa ating mga teachers ngayon in the audience are wondering, paano nga ba sila makakapag-access ng SEP?
Yes. Oo nga, nakita ko nga sa mga comments. So, kung gusto niyo pong gumamit ng SEP or gusto niyo mag-explore ng SEP na website at gusto niyo magkaroon ng teacher account at student accounts, ang pwede pong gawin ay mag-send sa aming email. Ang email po namin ay mathplusapps@gmail.com at pakibigay lang po yung mga detalye na nandito sa inyong screen. Ang inyong full name, title at position at affiliation. Now, very important po na gamitin yung inyong academic email sa pag-send sa amin ng email para mag-request ng teacher codes at student codes. Dahil ito po yung magiging patunay na kayo po talaga ikuro at affiliated sa isang academic institution. Dahil gusto po talaga namin na yung database, ang magiging laman niya ay manggagaling talaga sa students dahil yung database talaga ay for the students at by the students. So mahalaga po na gamitin yung academic email kung gusto niyo pong mag-request sa amin ng teacher code at student code. Kung wala naman po kayong official na academic email, pwede rin naman po magbigay ng kahit na anong patunay na kayo po ay affiliated sa isang academic institution. Maaari po siguro na website nyo, kung merong website ang inyong school, pwede rin po sigurong ang inyong ID, at yun po, kahit na ano pong evidence or patunay na kayo po ay affiliated sa isang school para po mabigyan namin kayo ng teacher account at student accounts. Bigyan nyo rin po kami ng kung ilang classes yung gagamit ng SEP, yung sasagot sa survey, at ano po yung mga grade levels. Dahil po later, pag mag-a-access na yung mga estudyante ng data, dun sa access data page ng students at ng teacher, meron po dong filter na pwede nyong piliin na ang kukunin nyo lang na data ay sa grade level na ito, or pwede rin naman na sa lahat ng estudyante sa particular school year, or pwede rin naman na random sample. So important po na ibigay nyo rin sa amin kung ano yung grade levels na gagamit nung SEP na website. Okay? At pati rin po kung ilan talaga yung gagamit. So again po, para po mabigyan kayo ng teacher code at student code, mag-email lang sa amin gamit ang aming email na mathplusapps@gmail.com. Po?
Yes. So
Mhm.
I hope marami pong mag-participate at
Yes.
sana po ay sama-sama tayong i-build itong SEP database.
Tama.
So I think at this time, magandang mag-tour tayo ng ating website para mapakita
Yes.
natin sa ating mga audience kung ano bang may expect nila once they log in to the SEP website. So let
Okay.
me begin with the student section of the website. So bali ganito po yung mangyayari, no? So yung teacher po bibigyan ang kanyang estudyante ng student code. And then the student will go to the website, which is in mathplusresources.com. And then once nakapag-log in na po yung student, this is the screen that he or she will see.
Mhm. So
So
Mark,
kung
kailangan
nakikita
ba
niyo
ng
po,
student ng email?
hindi niya kailangan ng
Hmm.
emails. No? So we designed this website to be accessible for students from grade 1 to 12, di ba Mark?
Mhm.
So kahit grade 1 ka pa lang, malamang wala pang email yung student, di ba? So kaya student code na lang ang kanyang gagamitin para makapag-login. So dito po sa screen na to, I think you can see there are two columns. So the second column is of course Senso Eskwela Pilipinas. On the first column, we have the assessment tracking Philippines. This is another component of our project na baka magagamit din po, malamang ay magagamit din po ng ating mga estudyante at guro. So abangan, coming soon. So for now, let's go to SEP. So if I click proceed, this will lead me to the student section of the website. And as you can see here, the students' functionalities are shown here. So unahin ko lang po itong nasa gitna, which is the access data page, the access data function. So this is where the students will go to access the data of their own class or if they want to generate a random sample from the database. Hindi po muna natin ipapakita today dahil nire-reserve namin itong part na ito for tomorrow's session. So I hope you can join us again tomorrow to explore more the access data page and also how to integrate this data into your own classes. Now, of course, the students have this function for taking the survey. So this is where they go to take the survey, the SEP survey. So once they click that, the instructions will pop up. And once they click proceed, they go straight to the SEP survey. Now, as you can see, there are currently 28 questions in the SEP database. And as you've seen in the video, meron po tayong mga standard questions, no? So like height, weight, or age. So these are standard questions in a survey. But we also have some interesting questions like the pets that they have at home. So for the little kids, this might be very exciting. The vegetables that they like to eat, or maybe they don't like to eat any of them. So merong option for I don't like any of these vegetables. Also, relatable questions to them. Our students, our children are now very hooked to social media, to social networking sites. So we have questions that are related to that. So which social networking sites do they have an account to? How much time do they spend in these social networking sites? And also some other questions, no, that are about them. So like how long does it take for them to travel from their house to their school? So actually medyo konting patikim lang. I was looking through the data that is already in the SEP database, and I just took a random sample, and 99% of the respondents have at least one social networking site account, no? And actually 99% has a Facebook account. So you can see talaga how much social networking has penetrated our culture, especially in the youth. Now, aside from these questions, we also have some interactive or fun or game type questions. So we've seen some in the video. Another question is here. So it's like a simple puzzle of um, converting the entire grid here to a single color. So it's either you make them all green or you make them all blue. So yeah. So and then once that's done, the student can proceed to the next question. Now, if you notice, when I enter the survey, some of these boxes in the questions panel are already highlighted. This is because I actually accessed this survey a while ago. And because of our save and log out function, I was able to save my answers from before. And then I was able to return to these answers. So these are very useful because baka po hindi matapos ng estudyante yung survey in one sitting. So pwede niyang balikan afterwards. And then meron ding mga questions kasi sa survey that will require, let's say, a ruler or a measuring tape, or baka kailangan nila ng assistance for doing the particular task or taking the particular measurement. So they can return once they have access to these tools or once they have someone to help them with these questions. So that's a useful functionality of our survey. And then again, green questions here means that they've already answered that question. The orange ones means they've skipped the question. No, they've looked at the question, but they were not able to provide a valid answer. And then the white ones, of course, are the questions that they have not yet attempted to answer. Okay. So this is for the survey part. So let's now try to look at the other section in the student section, the other functionality, which is the worksheets. So again, this is nice po, no? We designed the worksheets because right now we're doing online education. So a large amount of time, the students will have to learn things on their own. So we're trying to contribute to that by providing them with these worksheets. So if they click that button, they're led to this page where they can access different worksheets. And most of these don't need the supervision of the teacher. So kung gusto nilang mag-practice or gusto nilang mag-aral on their own, they can actually look at one of these and perform the activity here on their own kasi they can access the data from the STP database anyway. So for example, I have this worksheet on the advantages and disadvantages of the mean. So in this activity, they get to practice computing the mean of a data set, and they're also guided to identifying what are the advantages and disadvantages of the mean. So this is something that they can do on their own to practice or to learn on their own. And of course, this goes well also with the teachers' teaching guides. And the teachers can use this worksheet when they do this activity. Okay. So I think this is it for the student section. Should we proceed to the teacher section?
Yes, Mark. So mag-share na ako ng screen. Here. Okay. Visible na ba yung screen ko?
Yes, Mark.
Okay. So here naman, ako naman po yung naka-assign sa teacher na section nung Senso Eskwela Pilipinas na website. So yung gawin lang natin, punta lang muna tayo sa mathplusresources.com. Assuming na meron na tayong ang teacher account, log in lang as teacher. Enter natin dito yung ating academic email address. Say teacher@neo.com. Okay? And then, key in din yung password. So, na-copy-paste ko na yung password ko kanina. Then, log in. Then, same lang yung landing page like that teacher, like the student. So, punta lang tayo ng Senso Eskwela Pilipinas. Then, click proceed. Okay? So this time, ito naman yung different functionalities for the teacher. We have yung manage classes, view the survey, access data, and teaching guides. Now, yung manage classes, hindi pa siya na-up, although it's already under development. We're going to upload yung posts for the managed classes as soon as possible. But I can show you the design of the managed classes na functionality or facility. So ganito yung magiging itsura niya. Ito yung design. So under the managed classes, you can create a new class, archive a class, or delete a class. Sa pag-create ng new class, you just have to fill in here yung certain information, especially kung anong grade, and then ilan yung number ng students, and then yung school year. Then once you save this one, and then go to a particular class, ito na yung magiging design niya. You can now download student codes that you can use to distribute to your students. Then yung student codes na yun, yung gagamitin naman ng mga students para sagot ng survey. Here. So, ayan yung laman ng managed classes na facility. Now, yung view survey naman, same lang siya actually dun sa survey ng students. It's just that, dito, makakasagot pa rin yung teacher ng survey. Pero dahil nga yung database at yung SEP na website, ang magiging laman niya dapat ay galing sa students, yung mga masagutan ng teachers dito, hindi siya mare-record sa website, sa database. So, pwede lang niyang ma-explore kung ano mismo yung sasagutan ng mga students na survey, pwede rin niyang sagutan on his or her own, pero yung mga data or responses na makuha from the survey na inansweran ng teacher, hindi siya mare-record sa database. Okay, so pwede rin siyang go here. So precisely yung experience ng students sa answering the survey, the teacher can also experience. And then, we also have here yung access data. Again, hindi muna namin pupuntahan yung access data today. So stay tuned tomorrow para explain namin kung ano yung magiging functionality ng access data page. Now, I'll go dun sa final facility here called the teaching guides. I'm going to click on this one. And then, madidirect ako sa isang website or isang page kung saan nandun yung mga teaching guides. Okay? So, take note, yung mga teaching guides na to, these are for the activities using data coming from the SEP survey. Okay? And then, it's grouped according to grade. So, we have grade school, junior high school, and then senior high school. Right? Then, if I click on a particular teaching guide, say this one here, take note, naka-indicate here kung ano yung grade level, kung kaninong grade level intended yung teaching guide, anong quarter, and then nandito rin naka-indicate yung particular DepEd learning competencies. So makikita nyo here na align talaga yung mga teaching guides dun sa prescribed na MELCs ng DepEd. At the same time, itong teaching guide na to, meron siyang corresponding yung worksheet naman for the students na pinakita kanina ni Mark. Okay? So ganito yung magiging itsura ng teaching guide, nandito yung procedure, and then yung activity na pwedeng pagawa sa students. Ito nga yung para sa grade school, for example, or grade 1. And then meron din tayong other teaching guides. Say for junior high school naman, of course, iba na yung difficulty ng activities. Like this one here. So we'll see na iba na rin yung skills na dinedevelop or activity na dinedevelop nitong teaching guides na to. This time naman, formulating, say, statistical instruments, and these are the corresponding learning competencies, okay, being addressed by that particular teaching guide. Okay, so I think that will conclude the short tour of the teacher section of the SEP website. Okay, so back to you, Mark.
Okay. Okay, so thank you, Mark. So let's proceed now. So what we're excited to tell you also is that our development for SEP is actually still continuing. So since our project is still ongoing, we plan there are still planned updates for the improvement of SEP. So ano-ano ba yon, Mark?
So, yung kaninang pinakita ko, hindi pa nga functional yung managed classes na facility ng website. So, yun yung isa namin na currently under development na siya, under construction. Meron ng design, meron na rin siyang parang plan na functionality. So, aayusin na lang siya ng aming mga developers para soon mai-up na, kasi once mai-up na ito, hindi na kailangan mag-email sa amin ng mga teacher para mag-create ng account. So actually, once up and running na itong facility na to, ang gagawin lang ng teacher, punta lang siya sa website, and then doon na siya gagawa ng kanyang account. So hindi niya na kailangan mag-email sa MathPlus team. Ang request lang namin, gamitin talaga yung academic email dahil magkakaroon ng filtering yung pag-create ng account na dapat academic email yung gamitin para mabigyan ng SEP ng account yung teacher. And again, hindi kailangan ng students na gumawa ng account dahil once nakagawa na si teacher ng account at meron na siyang account, doon na siya sa website mag-generate ng student codes. Pero nga, habang wala pa yung facility na yon, habang under construction, for the meantime, mag-send lang sa amin ng email para mabigyan namin kayo ng teacher account at mabigyan niyo yung students niyo ng student codes.
Oh, that's so convenient, no? So abangan natin yung feature na yan.
So
I think
magkakaroon rin kami ng improvement sa Axe Data page. Although hindi nyo pa makita yung Axe Data page dahil papakita pa namin siya tomorrow, so abangan. Pero magkakaroon kasi ng ibang filtering pa yung Axe Data page para pwede yung piliin. Kunyari, ang gusto nyo makuhang data ay sa grade level lang na ito. Or gusto nyo naman sa section nyo lang. Or gusto nyo sa isang school year lang. Or pwede rin namang random. So ito yung mga ibang improvements na ilalagay namin dun sa Access Data page ng website. Pareho sa teacher at sa students.
Tama. And I think we're also planning to include some quick basic summary or tabulation or visualization of the data that you are downloading. So, kunwari gusto mong gusto nating magturo about mean. So, pwedeng bago mo i-download yung data, meron ng quick summary para makita mo, is this a good data set to use to highlight what you want to teach about the mean? No? So, kung gusto mong magpakita na the mean is very sensitive to outliers, you might want a data na merong ganung property. So, that functionality will allow for that. Aside from these future updates, of course, we will be creating more teaching guides and student worksheets. So there are many ways that you can integrate the SEP data into your classes. So we will try to capture those through the teaching guides and the student worksheets. And related to that, of course, if you decide to use now the SEP, we will appreciate so much your feedback and your contribution. So whatever suggestions you have for improving the website, whether it's about the questions or about the functionalities, pwede nyo pong ipadala sa amin through the same email, and we will try to address your suggestions in the next updates. Another thing po that you can contribute, if you want to contribute your own teaching guide or your own student worksheet, pwede rin po natin yang i-post in our SEP website. Of course, you will be acknowledged, and we can even send you a certificate for your contribution. You can also create teaching videos. No? So if you're going to record a video for your class, then you can contribute it to the SEP website, and we can post it there. So we hope you'll cooperate with us and collaborate with us in this endeavor.
Tsaka maganda yun, Mark,
Okay,
no,
so
na
that's it
mag-contribute
for the
talaga yung
future
mga
update.
teacher. Maganda yun talaga na mag-contribute yung ating mga teachers dun sa SEP na website dahil sila talaga yung nakakaalam kung paano magandang integrate yung website at yung SEP na database sa survey sa kanilang mga lessons. So ma-appreciate talaga natin na mabigyan tayo ng contributions from the teachers. Both sa teaching guide pati student worksheets na rin.
Yes. Speaking of contribution, speaking of collaboration with our teachers, tomorrow naman, so ano nga bang mangyayari bukas? So as we have been saying in our presentation earlier, we will take a more detailed look at the access data page. So magde-demonstrate kami paano nga ba mag-filter ng data para makuha natin yung gusto nating makuha na data for our activities. No? And then we will be joined by some of our partners, our friends from SDO Mandaluyong and Ateneo Senior High School in talking about how to integrate SEP into the classroom. So ano-ano nga ba yung mga ways or concrete examples of how we can integrate SEP into the classroom. So here are our guests. So for the grade school, we have Mrs. Mary Rose E. Villanda from Pleasant Hills Elementary School of SDO Mandaluyong. For the junior high school, we have Mr. Reynaldo Casero Collado Jr. from Highway Hills Integrated School, also from SDO Mandaluyong. And for senior high school, we have Mr. Danilo R.C., who is the subject area coordinator for mathematics in the Ateneo Senior High School. So abangan po natin sila tomorrow because I'm sure marami silang share na valuable insights and how to teach statistics in a more exciting, more engaging way, especially with the SEP data.
Tsaka very exciting to Mark, no? Kasi pwede rin natin ma-interview sina Teacher Rose, sina Teacher Reynaldo, Teacher Danny, tungkol sa kanilang mga tips siguro na pwedeng ibigay sa ating mga viewers kung paano talaga pwedeng gamitin at incorporate yung SEP website at database sa kanilang mga lesson, either via on-site, kung tapos na, for example, yung pandemic, or pwede rin sa blended learning na classroom.
That's right. So, kung gusto nyo, we hope that you can join us again tomorrow in this Senso Eskwela Pilipinas at iba pa. It might also be a good idea to have maybe your laptop or your tablet ready para po pwede nyong sundan yung iba nating gagawing activities. So aside kasi po from SEP, we will also be showing how to integrate naman the other Math Plus app also into the classroom. So yung mga apps po na pinakita kanina for grades 1 to 10, meron din pong session for that. Okay? So I think this is it for Senso Eskwela Pilipinas for day 1. We're very happy that we have been able to finally reveal SEP to everyone. So may we call on back to the stage Dr. Jumela Sarmiento for the next part of our program.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mark Tolentino and Dr. Mark Loyola. May I now call on the other speakers to go on stage? Thank you very much to our participants for staying with us. Sorry we've extended a bit, but we'd like to answer a few questions from our viewers. Okay. So the first question, I hope Dr. De Las Peñas can help me answer the question. There's a question from YouTube. The question is, do pupils need to download the apps? And if they have to download the apps, do you need expensive smartphones or tablets to be able to use the apps, especially for grades 1 to 6?
Hello again, Dr. Sarmiento. Yes, so thank you very much for that question. So with regards to downloading the apps, so for the grades 1 to 6 apps, as well as some selected grade 7 to 10 apps, these can work in Android devices. So you just download them. Doesn't have to be a complicated or very expensive phone. No, it's with very minimal requirements. It could be a cell phone, it could be a tablet, and for the grades 1 to 6 apps, there is a version that's called the desktop version. So in the website, you can see that particular version there. For the grade 7 to 10 apps, we would suggest something from the laptop that is an emulator, like a Knox or BlueStacks, also free emulator, so that you can play the Android app into your laptop as well. However, there are the GeoGebra apps. I think earlier in Dr. Aberin's presentation, you can actually play that also online immediately, when you have the internet. But again, you can download those GeoGebra apps even into and use it into if you are using an iOS system and you have an iPad or an iPhone, you can also play the Android app. So that's why the GeoGebra apps. That's why also abangan din nila na in the next months, we're going to have more of the GeoGebra apps so that parang combination nga and we can address also the iOS for those who are using the iOS.
Okay.
So yeah, so I hope I answered the question, Dr.
Yeah.
Sarmiento.
Thank you very much. Now, while you're still there, there's another
Okay.
question. May I ask some tips on how to prepare my lesson using the apps? And maybe
Oh,
Dr. Aberin can also add a little bit more. Dr.
okay.
Veras Peñas.
Yeah, so I know, and I think earlier it was mentioned, no, by one of the speakers that we are really facing now that so many challenges with regards to online learning, blended learning. So first, I would suggest I would suggest that if you can go to our website, because as you are preparing your lesson for a particular grade level, of course, we are following a particular syllabus and we want to address a particular learning competency, and we want to prioritize what lesson to discuss lengthily. So the apps are organized there by MELCS, the most essential learning competency. So I would suggest that you visit the site and check, uh, and also the teaching guide would help you in preparing the lesson. Uh, Another thing I would like to mention that we have also, for example, created sample videos. This one can access this not just in the website, but also in our Math Plus Resources FB page. So you can actually use those videos there for your lesson. That if you feel that you are not yet at this point ready to create your own video using the apps, then you can use that as a starting point. But and maybe also try to use that as an example to create more lessons using the apps. But I would definitely suggest that you play with the apps first. Kasi I'm very confident na yung mga teachers, once yun, napaglaruan na nila yung apps, marami na silang experience doon, hindi po mahirap gumawa ng lesson using the apps. So those are some tips that I could give.
Okay, thank you very much. Would you like to add something, Dr. Aberin?
It was mentioned a while ago that some teachers have already applied this in class, and there are videos already. So you can take it from there. Now they were able to do it, and I'm sure you can do it on your own as well. You can have your own way of integrating your the apps into your classes, even online.
Thank you very much, Dr. Aberin. Another question for you.
For me?
In the talk earlier, there was critical thinking and problem solving mentioned as twin goals of mathematics education. Can you elaborate on how the apps will be used for this?
Oh, yeah.
Especially for grade 7 to 10?
Yeah. for the grades 1 to 6, you will see how it will be done tomorrow. So do not be absent tomorrow. Dr. Bersosa will clearly show how this is done, and you will really appreciate the apps more. So do not be absent tomorrow. For the grade 7 to 10 apps, these have been designed with in mind that students need to explore the with the given, no? So as they explore, as they move about, as they when I say move about, they tinker with the different features of the app. They will be able to see how the process happens, no? So hindi lang siya trial and error eh. So hopefully when they do the exploration, when they create certain features there, merong aha moment, no? And yung aha moment na yon is an indication, nag-isip sila. May critical thinking na nangyari, na merong problem solving na nangyari as they go about with, as they apply mathematical apps. Kasi nga, ang mode nun, mostly siya ay exploratory.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Aberin. Dr. Tolentino and Dr. Loyola, I'm also so amazed to see, all of those things that you can do with the SEP, with Senso Eskwela Pilipinas. So totoo ba na our teachers can make a request if they want to, request for certain functionality that's not yet there?
Yes po, tama yan, Dr. Sarmiento. So, kung meron po silang maisip na functionalities or maybe more features that they think will really help them use SEP more efficiently, talaga pong we are very welcome. We welcome you to send your suggestions to us to our email. And by the way, we have been monitoring our Math Plus email, and we are very happy to receive so many requests already for teacher accounts and student codes. So maraming salamat po sa mga nag-email, and we hope many more can join you in participating in SEP.
Yes, thank you very much. So we'll try to acknowledge those emails later.
Yes.
Dr. Loyola, you want to say
po.
something?
Pwede rin po sila sa amin mag-send ng questions. For example, baka meron silang naisip na questions na pwedeng idagdag dun sa SEP survey, yung naisip nila na parang mas relatable sa estudyante, especially kung merong mga parang mga regional na values na pwedeng ilagay doon. So pwede nyo rin po sa amin ipadala, tapos pwede po rin po namin siya i-consider na i-add dun sa SEP na survey. Nalimutan ko rin po pala kanina sabihin na kahit na wala pa po kayong teacher or student account at gusto nyo explore yung SEP na website, pwede nyo pong i-click yung guest na option, login as guest dun sa website. So makita nyo na po dun yung survey, pati yung access data page. So habang naghihintay pa po yung ating mga teachers, na mabigyan namin sila ng teacher account, student codes, right now po pwede nyo siyang explore by logging in as a guest.
Yes. Thank you very much. So I think we have to end our question and answer portion for now. We'll try to answer more of your questions tomorrow. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, our speakers. We appreciate your being here. On behalf of the Math Plus Resources team and the School of Science and Engineering, thanks again for joining us today. We will see you tomorrow for day 2 of our webinar at the same time, 3 p.m.